Thank you, everyone. I now humbly request the esteemed guests to kindly step forward and water the plants as a gesture symbolizing growth, care, and sustainable future that we hope to cultivate together. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I now request everyone to rise at your respective places for the recitation of Vande Mataram, followed by the university song. Thank you.
Shasya Shyamala शिखरी चूल कुंज कानन माल पुण्य जलधि जल खेली उठ सघनी प्राची गगन शिरे भासी कनक नीरे आस तपन उत्कल भुवनी तुंग शिखरी चूल कुंज कानन माल पुण्य जलधि जल खेली उठ सघनी प्राची गगन शिरे भासी कनक नीरे आस तपन उत्कल भुवनी तुंग शिखरी चूल सरग भूमि बिलवन शैल सिंधु सुषमा जनमी देशे আজি जननी कोळे राजी धन्य कोटि नर नारी मरणर जीवनी प्राची गगन शिरे भासी कनक नीरे आस तपन उत्कल भुवनी तुंग शिखरी चूल जन्म भूमि कि दुख ओडियार पराणे कोड़ी मोहन मूर्ति से दिय गोमाजी कोटि संतान तोर प्रणमुए चरणी प्राची गगन शिरे भासी कनक नीरे आस तपन उत्कल भुवनी तुंग शिखरी चूल कुंज कानन माल पुण्य जलधि जल खेली उठ सघनी प्राची गगन शिरे भासी कनक नीरे आस तपन उत्कल भुवनी तुंग शिखरी चूल
Thank you, everyone. As a mark of our profound admiration and gratitude, I humbly call upon Honorable Vice Chancellor, Utkal University, Professor Chandi Prasad Nanda, sir, to lead the felicitation of our distinguished guests on the dais. May I now humbly request Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate Padma Shri Professor Aditya Prasad Das. Thank you, sir. I once again request you to felicitate Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal, sir. Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. Sir, may I now once again request you to felicitate Professor Manas Ranjan Sahu, sir. Professor Manas Ranjan Sahu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Odisha University of Health Sciences. May I now once again request you, sir, to felicitate Dr. Murlidhar Padi, sir. Dr. Padi, Additional Director, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, Government of Odisha. Sir, may I once again request you to felicitate Professor Pravas Ranjan Tripathi, Professor and Medical Superintendent, AIIMS, Bhubaneswar. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. To formally launch today's event, we are privileged to welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor, Utkal University, Professor Chandi Prasad Nanda. May I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor. Okay. I now request the Deputy Director, Population Research Center, Utkal University, Dr. Himanshu Shekhar Rao, to address.
Good morning to all. Happy World Population Day to all. Respected President of this function and Honorable Vice Chancellor of Utkal University, Padma Shri, respected Padma Shri Aditya Prasad Das sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Guru Ghasidas University, Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Odisha University of Health Sciences, Professor Manas Ranjan Sahu sir, Sri Professor Prabhas Ranjan Tripathi, Medical Superintendent, AIIMS, Bhubaneswar, respected Additional Director, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Odisha, Dr. Muralidhar Padi sir, our respected Chairperson of the Postgraduate Council, Professor Jagneshwar Dandpat sir, esteemed colleagues, invited guests, student friends, research scholars, media persons, I welcome all of you to this World Population Day 2026, which was first suggested by an Indian demographer, Dr. K.C. Zakaria, who was in World Bank. He was first suggested this when the world population crossed 5 billion in 1987. The day highlights the global attention to issue related to population growth, reproductive health, gender equality, and sustainable development. It serves as a powerful reminder of the intricate relationship between population dynamics and human development. So this year theme, every year the World Health Organization announced a theme for the World Population Day. So this year theme is realizing the hopes and aspirations of the young people today and the future, keeping in mind the demographic dividend. And we have to reap the demographic dividend. And today we have a great panelist, great guests. We are very happy that we have 4 renowned vice chancellors with 3 experts, those who are working in the field. And PRC Bhubaneswar is one of the PRC of the 18 PRCs in India. And it was a very old PRC. And this is the most grand function we are doing first time in the last, from inception of this World Population Day. And all over India also, I will tell today is second Saturday, so most of them, they have done it in yesterday. They have celebrated in different parts, they have yesterday, but we stick to ministry that we will do it and we are going to do a grand way. So I welcome all of you to this and hope you will understand the importance of youth for the economic development and sustainable development and human development. With this, I stop here. We all will listen to all our guests. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I now humbly request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Utkal University, Professor Chandi Prasad Nanda, sir, to kindly address the gathering. Sir, please.
Jai Jagannath. Namaskar. Esteemed chief guest and chief speakers of the day, Padma Shri Professor Aditya Prasad Das to begin with, and we have also a chief attraction today with a Vice Chancellor who has made a lot of difference to the evolving landscape of higher education today in India, is nobody else but Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal, who is with us today. We have also the Vice Chancellor from Health University of Odisha, Professor Manas Ranjan Sahu, and also a galaxy of intellectuals, policymakers, bureaucrats in the health sector. For example, we have with us Prabhas Ranjan Tripathi, Medical Superintendent from AIIMS, and Himanshu, just forgetting his, sorry, and I'm forgetting his name, distinguished guest. He's additional secretary from our Department of Health, Odisha. His good name is? Sorry, Dr. Muralidhar Padi. He has been kind enough, in the last minute he agreed to join us. So thanks to you, sir, for joining us. And also distinguished scholars, faculty members, student friends, and all the faculty members of Population Research Center, starting with Dr. Himanshu Shekhar Raut. In fact, today is a very memorable day, not only for this center, to think through some of the ideas associated with this day, which we call World Population Day, and the tagline being that realizing the hopes and aspirations of young people today and the future. I'm sure that we are going to see, as we run across time, a plethora of ideas and thoughts which would come from all these experts, particularly starting with our major attraction of this day's event, the Padma Shri Aditya Prasad Das, whom you might have known as one of those top intellectuals in the domain of public health. And if you remember malaria, if you remember any disease, his name comes in. So he's going to share his ideas about this along with Professor Chakrawal and other people. But my submission today would be slightly different in the sense that how do we engage with this day? How do we introspect this day? Given the fact that we are living in a world which is full of challenges today, we are being told that we are almost getting into an age called Anthropocene instead of Holocene. The geological age titled as Holocene has possibly been exhausted, and we are almost inching towards a new geological timeline called Anthropocene, where it is the age of humans, or humans have dominated. Humans have dominated in such a way that planet now cries, So this is the kind of state of affairs. In a context like this, we are celebrating these days. So what does it mean? If you read the new regime of literature in social science and critical natural science journals, you come across a lot of debates, lot of arguments, lot of ideation regarding climate question. So now it is said that, the way Population Day has been conventionally celebrated in terms of thinking about the growth of population, sex ratio, demographic dividend, and so on and so forth. These ideas, whether this only eminently makes sense or you need to transition towards a new regime of ideas. For example, if I start talking about, instead of demographic dividend, I say planetary dividend. If I make a distinction between global and planetary, how do I engage with these ideas? These are some of the questions that needs to be thought through at this point of time as we celebrate today. Because given the fact that the population of this earth back in the 1800 or just before 19th century was less than 1 billion, almost 1 billion. And today we are 8 billion. In 1900, we are only 1.6, 1900. 1950s, it was 2.3. But see the jump, exponential rise from 1950s till today. This is called this is called great acceleration in terms of human, not only in terms of human population growth, in terms of consumption, in terms of industrialization, in terms of energy use, water use, whatnot, cement use, everything has exponentially gone for a rise. So that has, very critically impacted on this whole earth system. Now, the distinction that I would like to make before you today is that how do we problematize the question of earth, how do we problematize the question of globe, and how do we problematize the question of world. These are essentially loaded concepts. Earth, planet as one go, and world and what you call this globe. These are two other things. For example, the earth has been worlded because of our human activities, human experience, human cultural practices, our meanings attached to all our activities. We have created a world out of this earth because of our own engagement in terms of cultural, religious, or whatnot, all kinds of activities. We have imagined these activities, we have given a meaning to our activities, we have navigated this, we have mapped this. So this is how we have produced a world, which is political, economic, which is cultural, and anything. Global is basically, technology, kind of market, networks, all these things. But planet is something which is beyond these two categories. World, we can say that we have worlded this earth, but the earth has been conceived as something very static, as something very natural. The nature has remained as a backdrop, static, and something like that. And we have only reacted to this nature or this whole earth. But today, now because of enormous exponential rise in the activities of human beings, we have become a kind of weight to this earth. And we are no more physical, economic, or political entities. We have become a geophysical entity. Human has become a species in it, despite its diversity. As human being, we are a species. So as a historical being, we inhabit a world, inhabit a globe, but as a human species, we inhabit this planet. So now the challenges are multifold or manifold. The challenges are to be understood in multiple registers. Whether we should live as only historical beings, with our historical imagination, with historical activities, we should continue to think in terms of human wisdom, human welfare, human rights, human history, human development, all these indexes remaining the same. Or there is a very strong alert coming from somewhere else that we need to also engage with a kind of politics which is planetary consciousness, planetary politics. This is the call of the day today. As we inhabit this world with so much of population at any part of this, what we call globe or called the world, we need to engage with this idea of Anthropocene. How terrible we have become, how terribly we have become a geophysical agency. So, philosophers, historians, scientists, like you see Bruno Latour from French, or Haraway, who talks about, history of science and technology, philosophy of science and technology. And many of these people who have studied in NASA, planets like Pluto or Mars, they start thinking about this idea of planet as a Earth system science. And we have engaged with the globe in terms of our own conventional understanding of understanding population, population growth, sex ratio, how human satisfaction quotient, everything. That human whom we are celebrating today as part of this population now needs to be juxtaposed with a set of other categories where planet becomes a very palpable theoretical understanding, which offers a palpable theoretical understanding. So this is, I think, one of the critical dimensions, a very nuanced dimensions we need to look up to today. This is what I think I'll try to suggest that this day for the young generations, the title being Realizing the Hopes and Aspirations of the Young People. We are now being told about Gen Z and Gen Alpha. These cohorts, these demographic cohorts who are likely to come, and those people who are not yet born, the new generations who are yet to come, how do we engage with that question is the call of the day, that we need to think about that. This is what I think one of the alarming questions that Population Day invites us to think. It's not only about thinking about how population has grown at one part of the geography where it has declined, what is happening in the Latin America or Africa, whether nutrition is there, sex ratio is falling, or it is the problem with lifestyle that people are not, biologically becoming reproductive. These are the questions which are critically important, indispensable, but still inadequate unless we graduate ourselves to a higher level of thoughts as we engage with this day, like planetary question, this question of planetary dividend. How do we reimagine our economics to encounter the question of ecology? How do we reimagine engineering to encounter the question of what you call ecology or ethics? These are some of the challenges. These are some of the questions, because planetary or planet doesn't need any passport, doesn't need any kind of national border to come in. Planetary crisis, for example, see a catastrophe like a cyclone, see something like ocean warming. It doesn't look at nations, which are political imaginations from our point of view. It has a sprawling sweep. So as we engage with these ideas, the question of climate crisis today, we need to somewhere very critically intertwine these ideas with the question of Population Day. The young generation need to think about the question of ethics, the question of responsibility. It's not about question of human resource only. It's a question of human responsibility. How ethically, how responsibly we engage with this world, that the world which has been created by our own imagination, by our own conceptualization, also needs to responsibly look at this question of planet. I think this is one of the biggest lessons that we need to think through today. I'll stop here abruptly because there are a number of speakers to speak today, and we are going to be enlightened by their insights, by their ideas, their viewpoints, their perspectives. And let me tell you, all of you share this this point of that the way I have understood about this university. It's two centers, which is one is Population Research Center, PRC, and also there is a public health unit. And we have a lot of collaborations with adjoining health institutions. So our efforts in the next couple of years would be how to organize a kind of platform where we simultaneously talk about health, population, ethics, philosophy, and the challenges of the planetary. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights with us and for setting the stage for the celebration of World Population Day today at Utkal University. Our distinguished guest for the day, Padma Shri Professor Aditya Prasad Das, is an internationally acclaimed biomedical scientist, academic leader, and public health expert recognized for his pioneering contributions to malaria, vector-borne diseases, and tropical medicine. He was conferred the Padma Shri in the year 2022 for his outstanding contributions in the field of science and engineering. May I now humbly request you, sir, to address the August gathering. Sir, please.
Okay. Honorable Vice Chancellor, dignitaries on the dais and of the dais, esteemed faculty members and staff members of this university, invited guests, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to all of you. At the outset, let me express my gratitude to the Honorable Vice Chancellor for his gracious invitation to come over here and interact with you for a little while. Well, today is the World Population Day. I happen to be in United Nations for 6 years, and we are very much concerned about the population growth, especially the population migration, which has not become a problem but a threat nowadays. To speak on, I never say population control, I always say population management. To speak on population management, to give a clear picture about what I have, my idea about that will take 1 hour, but due to constraint of time, I will speak few words, and I know I am a biologist. Let me start like this. Mother Earth is dominated by plant biomass. Animals contribute to 0.4% of biomass. Am I correct, Dr. Danpat? Human beings constitute only 0.01% of the biomass. But little imbalance between these 0.01 may create havoc in the entire natural resources of Mother Earth. All of us, we know that we are going through an age of polycrisis. We are yet to recover from the post-traumatic shock of COVID-19. You economics know it better than myself. We have several conflicts, wars, etc., etc. This is really an age of polycrisis that the entire earth is, entire global population is facing. As you say from the very beginning, someone said that when global population reached 5 billion in 1987, a senior demographer in the World Bank has proposed to observe World Population Day to create awareness about population management. And from 11 July 89, they started it at the United Nations. UNDP, United Nations Development Program. World Health Organization was not very much concerned about it until and unless they realized that population migration causes lot of health issues. Then other UN organizations were interested in this and observing it. This year's theme is very important. As you know, today we have 8.4 billion global population. It is projected that by 2050, it will be 9.7 billion. By 2100, it will cross 11 billion. but natural resources are limited. To manage this, there is a need for population management. Please remember, I never speak on population control. I speak on population management. How to do this population management? And especially population migration. Population management has become a problem, but population migration has become a threat. In the beginning of 2000, the United Nations, 198 countries sat together. They decided we will have Millennium Development Goals for 15 years, 2000 to 2015, so that we can create a better environment, a convenient environment for the entire global population to live in. They had 8 goals and 17 targets. 2015, again these countries of United Nations, they sat together. They reviewed what they have achieved. Then they started Sustainable Development Goals, which are 17 goals and 169 targets. If I go back, the person who spoke first, he was telling about the World Population Day. The objectives are maternity and child health and what else he said? Maternity and child health and sustainable development and some other, few others. These are the key areas for which the demographer wanted to start a global population day. So this sustainable development, which was spoken in 1987, came in by discussed in by the United Nations in 2015, and Sustainable Development Goals are launched to be achieved by 2030. We are almost reaching the targets. Many diseases are targeted to be eliminated. Few diseases are targeted to be eradicated. Hunger, there should be zero hunger. Quality education. Life above water, life under water. Climate action. Several goals are there. If you see this, all the goals, if you go to the website and see all 17 goals, you will see this population management is related to 13 goals of sustainable development out of 17 goals. This is that important. The sustainable development goals are to be achieved for a sustainable future, for a peaceful future, for the future generations. And this climate action is a very big thing as regards population management. For the climate action, I always say, climate action, climate change, all of us know that climate change is happening. And it will happen. Global warming is happening. It will happen. Well, why climate change is happening? Why global warming is happening? It is happening, people say, due to many carbon dioxide and all these things are there. But mainly if you bring it down, it is because of production and developmental activities. But for a country like India, which contributes to around 11% of the global population, do you think that we do not want production? We do not want development? No, we want development, but we want development without destruction. We want production, but we want production without pollution. How we will do that? Technology will help us to do that. As we are living in an age of technology, technology will help us do that. I remember what Stephen Chu, a Nobel laureate, has said in China few years back. Human beings, human population, we created global warming. With the help of science, human population will be able to solve it. This is the assurance that we get. Yes, as the science develops, probably with the help of science, we will be able to handle the climate change, we will be able to handle the climate, we take appropriate climate action, we will be able to handle the population management. India is not a country, it is a subcontinent. As I said, India contributes to almost 18% of the global population. And India has crossed China in 2022 in population. So top populous countries like India, China, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they are all in Asia Pacific. So Asia as a whole is a challenge for population management. I remember we wrote a paper and published in Lancet. You can know the Lancet impact factor is 60 or something like that. We reviewed I think Vice Chancellor of Health University is here. We reviewed the progress of infectious diseases and non-communicable diseases. We found there is a 35% reduction of infectious diseases over the last 14 years from 2000 to 2014, while 33% increase in non-communicable diseases. That I am not going to say you. When we wrote this paper, which was published in Lancet, the title I gave, Nations Within a Nation. Means India is a nation, but we have several nations within this nation. For example, I am not going to speak in detail. I have to conclude because I have to go for another program. Take for example Orissa. Orissa is 1.5 times than Nepal. Orissa is twice of Sri Lanka. So many nations, Tamil Nadu is as big as Thailand. So we have nations within a nation. So this is the status of India as far as population is concerned. As population migration is also not only a threat to the globe, but is also a threat to India. With this I conclude, wishing all the best. Thank you very much. I have already taken permission from the Honorable Vice Chancellor to leave. So I seek your permission. Permit me to leave. I have to go for another meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your very valuable insights with us. Respected ladies and gentlemen, to take our program forward, we are now privileged to have with us Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal, sir, an eminent academician, management scholar, author, and higher education administrator, currently serving as the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, Chhattisgarh. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving such a wonderful introduction. Professor Chandi Prasad Nanda ji, a wonderful academician, a wonderful Vice Chancellor, मेरे बड़े भाई प्रोफेसर A.P. दास सर, इस सभा में बैठे हुए प्रोफेसर प्रभास रंजन त्रिपाठी जी, प्रोफेसर जगनेश्वर दंडपाठ जी, डॉक्टर मुरलीधर पाधी, प्रोफेसर मानस रंजन साहू जी, हिमांशु शेखर राउत जी जो शायद इस पॉपुलेशन रिसर्च सेंटर के डायरेक्टर भी हैं। पॉपुलेशन डे मनाना अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात है, मगर उसके मर्म को समझना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। आज पूरी दुनिया में एक बात को लेकर के सारे लोग अचंभित हैं। जो वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन का एज होता है, जहाँ पर हम भारतवर्ष के डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड की बात करते हैं, 15 से 64 साल की अवस्था, और राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति ने एक बड़ी क्रांति ला दी भारतवर्ष में कि हर आदमी को हायर एजुकेशन के लिए जाना, ये नहीं, स्किल डेवलपमेंट भी सीखना है, स्टार्टअप भी सीखना है, परफॉर्मेंस भी सीखना है, प्रोफेशनलिज्म भी सीखना है, केवल क्लासरूम में अपना समय नहीं बिताना है। हर बच्चे को जो 15 साल से ऊपर का है कुछ से कुछ आमदनी करनी चाहिए। एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग की बात क्यों आती है? स्टार्टअप की, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की, बिजनेस करने की, क्या हर आदमी नौकरी करेगा? नहीं कर सकता है। हमारी जितनी टोटल इकोनॉमिक अपॉर्चुनिटीज है उसमें केवल 7% अपॉर्चुनिटीज सर्विस सेक्टर में है, और उन 7% में जो सर्विसेज या जॉब्स अवेलेबल हैं, सर्विस सेक्टर वो वाला सर्विस की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं। सर्विस सेक्टर का कंट्रीब्यूशन तो जीडीपी में अराउंड 58-60% के आसपास आता है, जिसको हम टर्शियरी सेक्टर बोलते हैं, उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूं। मैं जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज की बात कर रहा हूं, और आउट ऑफ टोटल अवेलेबल जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज में केवल 1% गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स हैं। अब बात आती है डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड की, तो 15 to 64 एज ब्रैकेट में हमारा आज की तारीख में लगभग 66% पॉपुलेशन है, और जो दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा वर्कफोर्स है। बाय द नेक्स्ट ईयर हमारा वर्किंग फोर्स जो है वो 1 बिलियन के ऊपर चला जाएगा, 100 करोड़ को क्रॉस कर जाएगा। अब फायदा क्या है? आप दुनिया के किसी भी देश में जाओ, आप सारे लोग विदेशों में जाते होंगे, आपको इंडियंस मिलेगा ही मिलेगा, भारतीय आदमी मिलेगा ही मिलेगा, और केवल आईटी सेक्टर में नहीं, रियल एस्टेट में मिल जाएगा, डिलीवरी में मिल जाएगा, कस्टमर मैनेजमेंट में मिल जाएगा, पब्लिक रिलेशंस में मिल जाएगा, टेक्नोक्रेट्स मिल जाएंगे, दुनिया भर के किसी भी फील्ड में आप देख लीजिए, हॉस्पिटैलिटी बिजनेस में मिल जाएगा। मैं तो दुनिया भर घूमता रहता हूं, मुझे आश्चर्य होता है कि ऐसा कौन सा देश है जहां पर इंडियन लीड नहीं कर रहा है। यह डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड का मसला है। 1789 में या 1798 में रॉबर्ट माल्थोस ने एक किताब लिखी थी, और उसमें उन्होंने बताया कि जो पॉपुलेशन है वो ज्योमेट्रिक मैनर में बढ़ता है, जबकि अनाज का उत्पादन मैथमेटिकल है। वो अपनी गणित लगा रहे थे, और उन्होंने कहा कि पॉपुलेशन को अगर नहीं रोकेंगे तो ड्राउट आ जाएगा, ठीक है, फिर बाढ़ आ जाएगी, फिर पैंडेमिक आ जाएगा, फिर प्लेग आ जाएगा, और पॉपुलेशन एक साथ सफा हो जाएगी। उन्होंने कहा नैसर्गिक रूप से आपको कंट्रोल करना चाहिए, मगर उस समय उनको नहीं पता था कि पॉपुलेशन किस दिशा में जा रही है। आज जापान में जाइए तो गांव के गांव खाली पड़े हुए हैं, 40% उनके विलेजेस खाली है। क्यों? क्योंकि रिप्रोडक्शन है नहीं वहां पे, बच्चे हैं नहीं। जैसे ही बच्चे बड़े होते कहीं बाहर निकल जाते हैं। आज यूरोप के ज्यादातर देश माइनस पॉपुलेशन से जूझ रहे हैं, उनके पॉपुलेशन घटती चली जा रही है, एल्डरली पीपल बढ़ते चले जा रहे हैं, नॉन वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन बढ़ती चली जा रही है। भारत के साथ ऐसा नहीं है। एक समय में इसी माल्थुसियन थियरी को मान करके, चाहे उसको अच्छा बुरा मानते थे मुझे नहीं पता, और मैं इकोनॉमिक्स का जानकार भी नहीं, जो थोड़ा बड़ा जनरल नॉलेज है उसी से मैं बताने का प्रयास कर रहा हूं कि नसबंदी एक शुरू किया गया। क्या मजाक बना रखा था, जबरदस्ती पकड़ पकड़ के, उसमें बहुत कुछ गड़बड़ भी हुआ, क्या कहा जाए उसके बारे में। भाई अभी आईटी सेक्टर में आज के ज़माने में मैं बताऊं, और ख़ास करके कपल्स जो वर्किंग है उनमें एक कॉन्सेप्ट, नया एक टर्म निकला है, जेन जी में आप कई बार बात कर रहे थे अभी, जेन अल्फा, जेन बीटा भी आ गया। अब बेबी बूमर्स की बात अलग थी, मगर आज की पॉपुलेशन रिप्रोडक्शन के लिए बहुत डिटरेंट है। और एक वर्ड है कहते हैं उसको डिंकीज, डबल इनकम नो किड्स, डिंकीज। अब पॉपुलेशन बढ़ा ही नहीं रहे, आप कहां से, मतलब देखिए, एक आदमी की स्वतंत्रता होनी चाहिए इस बात में कि बच्चा उसको करना है कि नहीं करना है। आप लठ लेकर पड़ जाओ कि बच्चा करना ही है, और लठ लेकर पीछे पड़ जाओ कि बच्चा नहीं करना है, ये तो आपकी ह्यूमन राइट्स का कहीं ना कहीं से अवमानना है, उसकी बारी बात कही जाए। हम बार बार चाइना को अपना एक उदाहरण देते, चाइना में ह्यूमन राइट्स की क्या स्थिति है आप जाकर के देखिए, तब पता चलेगा। जो चेहरा चाइना का दिखता है डेवलप वाला, और जो उनका अनडेवलप्ड एरिया है, जो उनका क्रूअल एस्पेक्ट है, वो किसी को नहीं दिखता है। मुझे लगता है कि आज विश्व पॉपुलेशन दिवस पर हमें इस बात के बारे में सोचना चाहिए कि जो हमारी जनसंख्या है उसको हम क्या सही शिक्षा दे पा रहे हैं, उसको हम अच्छा नागरिक बना पा रहे हैं। एक छोटी सी घटना बताऊं, एक डॉक्टर थी, तो बहुत पॉपुलर डॉक्टर थी, बहुत अच्छी डॉक्टर थी, लेडी डॉक्टर। तो उसे डॉक्टरी छोड़ दी। उनके 4 बच्चे थे, तो किसी ने कहा आप क्या कर रही हैं? उन्होंने कहा मैं 4 जिम्मेदार नागरिकों को बना रही हूं भारतवर्ष के लिए। ब्रिंगिंग अप ए चाइल्ड, ब्रिंगिंग अप ए रिस्पॉन्सिबल चाइल्ड इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट जॉब फॉर द सोसाइटी। बच्चे पैदा करना बड़ी बात नहीं है, बच्चों को पैदा करने के बाद उनको सही शिक्षा देना, उनको सही कल्चर देना, उनको सही संस्कार देना, उनके में सही हैबिट्स डालना, उनको एक जिम्मेदार नागरिक बनाना, ये बड़ी चीज है। आप टोक्यो में जाइए, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर अप्लाउड्स। आप टोक्यो में जाइए, लोग कहते हैं दुनिया की सबसे डेंसली पॉपुलेटेड टोक्यो, कोई आपको डिसऑर्डर नहीं मिलेगा, सिविक सेंस इतना बढ़िया है, कहीं पर रोड जाम नहीं मिलेगा। आप मेघालय में चले जाइए, सिक्किम में चले जाइए, लोग एक साइड से ही रोड पे चलते हैं, रोड कभी ब्लॉक नहीं मिलेगा। सक्री पहाड़ियों में भी, हमारे छोटे छोटे सड़क में, बॉम्बे में, पुणे में, दिल्ली में, कहीं से भी घुसा करके, सिविक सेंस का अभाव है। हमारे पॉपुलेशन इज नॉट ए प्रॉब्लम, कल्चर इज ए प्रॉब्लम, ब्रिंगिंग अप इज ए प्रॉब्लम, संस्कारों की समस्या है। तो मुझे लगता है कि आज पॉपुलेशन डे पर हमें इस बात का प्रण लेना चाहिए कि हमारे आने वाली नस्ल में, हमारे आने वाली जनता के बीच में, हमारे आने वाले बच्चों के बीच में हम अच्छे संस्कार देंगे। जो माएँ अपने बच्चों को अच्छा संस्कार देती हैं, उनके बच्चे जाकर के समाज में उन खानदान का नाम रोशन करते हैं, अपने माता पिता का नाम रोशन करते हैं। अभी आज एक बहुचर्चित घटना आपने पुणे का सुना होगा, तो ना मतलब लोग मुंह छुपा रहे हैं। ऐसे संस्कार कहां से आ गए? जेनजी का मतलब ये तो नहीं होता है कि बच्चों की तरफ से आंख मूंद ले। हम सभी के आपके बच्चे होंगे, हम एक नज़र तो रखते हैं कि बच्चा क्या कर रहा है, किससे मिल रहा है, क्या बात कर रहा है, कौन सा कंटेंट देख रहा है, इंटरनेट पर क्या कर रहा है। हम सारी चीज़ें, फ़ोन, मोबाइल, सब कुछ दे दें, हम भी मोबाइल पर क्या देख रहे हैं, हमें भी खुद को ऑब्जर्व करने की आवश्यकता है। तो संस्कार सबसे बड़ी चीज़ है। अगर संस्कार नहीं है तो पॉपुलेशन छोटा भी होगा, डिस्ट्रक्टिव होगा, और संस्कार अच्छा है तो पॉपुलेशन ज्यादा भी होगा तो उससे अच्छा ही होने वाला है। एक समय में भारतवर्ष अमेरिका से पीएल अकाउंट, पब्लिक लोन अकाउंट 80 का लोन लेकर के वहां से लाल रंग का गेहूं मंगवाता था, और उस गेहूं को खाते थे हम लोग, उससे बहुत बीमारियां होती थी। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री लाल बहादुर शास्त्री जी ने कहा कि हमको ग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन लाना है। उन्होंने पंचवर्षीय योजनाएं बंद कर दी, 5 ईयर प्लान बंद कर दिया, और उन्होंने कहा हम 3 साल तक लगातार ईयरली प्लानिंग बना और देश में हरित क्रांति आई, और आज हम पूरी दुनिया को अनाज एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। हमारे पास इतना अनाज है कि हम सालों तक बिना उत्पादन किए भी खा सकते हैं। आज 80 करोड़ जनता को हमारे यहाँ पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम के थ्रू अनाज दिया जा रहा है, सरकार की तरफ से दिया जा रहा है। भारतवर्ष आने वाले समय में विश्व गुरु बनेगा, और उसका सबसे बड़ा आधार होगा हमारी अच्छी पॉपुलेशन। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir, for your truly motivating words. We could relate to every single thought that you shared with us today. We now move forward with our next distinguished guest for the day, Professor Dr. Manas Ranjan Sahu. Sir is an eminent gastrointestinal surgeon, medical educator, researcher, and academic administrator, currently serving as the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Odisha University of Health Sciences, Bhubaneswar. May I request you to address the guests?
जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ। आज्ञा बहुत भाषण शुणला पर ना निद लगे, तेणु आपण मान निद भांगा प्रभु जगन्नाथ शरण जावा निहाती दरकार। मंच उपरे बसिथिबा बरेण्य अतिथि माने प्रोफेसर आलोक अग्रवाल सर, I am taking permission to speak little bit in Odia. Since you talked in Hindi, let me come back to my mother tongue. मंच उपरे बसिथिबा बरेण्य अतिथि वृंद प्रोफेसर आलोक अग्रवाल जी, उत्कल यूनिवर्सिटी बरेण्य कुलपति प्रोफेसर चंडी प्रसाद नंद सर, प्रोफेसर अंबिका प्रसाद दास सर, प्रोफेसर हिमांशु सर, डायरेक्टर पॉपुलेशन रिसर्च सेंटर, एवं मोर छोट भाई आउ एम्स रो मंग संभाळुथिबा प्रोफेसर प्रभास रंजन त्रिपाठी सर, एवं ओडिशार पॉपुलेशन रे गोटे विराट भूमिका रोल प्ले करथिबा मोर अति अंतरंग बंधु डॉक्टर मुरलीधर पाढ़ी सर, मोर सम्मुख रे बसिथिबा अति सुज्ञानी मंडल उत्कल यूनिवर्सिटी प्राध्यापक अध्यापक एवं जो मानक पई आज पॉपुलेशन डे एठी आमे पालन करूचे मोर युव बंधु माने आपण माने समस्त को ओडिशा स्वास्थ्य विज्ञान तरफरु स्वास्थ्य विश्वविद्यालय तरफरु मोर अनेक अनेक शुभेच्छा शुभकामना और नमस्कार। एक्चुअली गोटे भल कॉन्सेप्ट रे पॉपुलेशन डे टा पालन करा होची जे आम मानकू सचेतन करने जे पॉपुलेशन बढ़िले आम देश में कौन न माने असुविधा न हो पृथ्वी में कौन असुविधा न हो मु तो आउ स्टैटिस्टिक्स डाटा कहबिनी कहीं मो पूर्वर बहुत बरेण्य वक्ता माने से विषय में आलोकपात कर सारी किंतु मु गोटे छोटिया कथा कहबी आज्ञा आज भी आम समाज रे कन्या भ्रूण हत्या बंद हो पारला नाही। आज भी आपण देखिबे जहाँ घरे पुओटे जन्म है तार बहुत बड़ महोत्सव बड़ बड़ मिठा पैकेट बंटा हम झील जदि जन्म हो गला आज्ञा भारी मन दुख मु सत कहूँ ना मिछ कहूँ आज्ञा सत कि मिछ टिके मु आपन शुणिया चाहूँ सत ना एकदम सत माने आपण माने भी कहते एकदम सत मु कहवा यह बाहुल्य जे आमर शिक्षित समाज रे मध्य आज पर्यंत कन्या को एक्सेप्ट करवा कल्चरटा हो पारा नहीं तेणु आम पॉपुलेशनटा को एक्चुअली जो माने कंट्रोल करि पारिबे एवं जो मानक पाई ए समाज जड़े मोर मुख्य वक्ता कहीगले जे एक्चुअली भल संस्कार दबा भी गोटे विराट बड़ रोल तेणु आमर गोटे कल्चर अच्छी जो महिला माने एक्चुअली गृहिणी होम मेकर तांको आज्ञा किसी इंपोर्टेंस नहीं जदि से महिला जनक चाकरी करिसंती ताले तांको भारी इंपोर्टेंस तांको स्वामी भी आज्ञा सेमती स्वामी आज्ञा इंपोर्टेंस दियंती जदि तांको स्त्री भल चाकरी करचंती मु आपन कहूची एटा टिके भल लागु न थाई पारे किंतु आज्ञा निछक सत्य मु आज्ञा बहुत जगह देखी कहीं सबुदिन तो रोगी मानक आम देखुचु रोगी मानक सेवा करुचु तेणु बहुत स्तरर मनीषों को देखिबार सुजोग सब बेले आज्ञा आम मानक मिले आउ लकीली आज आपण मान गहणे आपण 3 जण डाक्तर को डाकी केवल एटा पॉपुलेशन को रिलेट करची बोली किंतु आपण जानी रखंतु आज भी आमर पॉपुलेशन मंग जो माने धरिचंती एक्चुअली पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन जो सीक्वेंस एवं जो कन्या रत्न माने ए समाज रे सबुठु आदृत हवा कथा वर्तमान भी हो पारि नाहांती जदिओ आमे बहुत बड़ बड़ कथा कहूचे बहुत बड़ बड़ स्कीम बहुत प्रोग्राम प्लान आपण माने मो पाखरे एकमत हेबे आजिर प्रॉब्लम हेची पॉपुलेशन तो बढ़ी जाइए समस्त जानी किंतु पॉपुलेशन क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ बढ़ेबा कथा केही केबे भाबी नाही आ मोठो आज्ञा लेखिक रखंतु केही केबे भाबिबो नाही जेपर्यंत आमे निजे निज पई न भाबिचे तो आमर क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ बढ़ेबा पई आमे माने केवल दायी आज्ञा आउ केही आम क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ बढ़े पारिबो नाही। आजिर सभ्य समाज रे आमे एबे भी कन्या भ्रूण हत्या को छाड़ी दियंतु आउ गोटे मेजर इंपोर्टेंट रोल होची जेमती प्रोफेसर आलोक चक्रवाल सर कहले डिंकी डबल इनकम नो किड्स परफेक्टली एब्सोल्युटली इट्स अ फैक्ट आजिर यंग पॉपुलेशन आज्ञा आइदर से बाहा हबाकू चाहू नांती ना जदि बाहा होचंती छुआ करिवा पई चाहू नांती तांको दरकार गोटे कुकुर नले बिलेई से कुकुर को पालिबे नले बिलेई को पालिबे ताकू काखेई बुलिकी सबुआड़े देखौथिबे जे फोटो सोशल मीडिया रे मोर गोटे बढ़िया कुकुर मु आनी किंतु कहबानी जे आज्ञा मोटे बढ़िया छुआ जन्म कली आ तार गोटे भल को ताकू बाळिली से छुआ को ज्ञान देली शिक्षा देली ताकू संस्कार शिखैली आ समाज रे गोटे भल मनीष तैयारी कली से कथा आज्ञा कहीपर किंतु आज्ञा मन मन रखु सबू आमे माने समस्ते मते मिसेकरी मोर भी मो माँ मोर सबुठारु रोल मॉडल थिले जदि मो माँ जने डाक्तर थिले से समय से जने डाक्तर थिले आम परिवार रे से जो बोहू होके आसते डाक्तर हिसाब से आज्ञा सबुठू उच्च शिक्षिता कहीं आज्ञा डाक्तर से बहुत मिलू नथिले बहुत कम थिले एवं तथापि पाखापाखि 5-7 वर्ष पूर्वर 300 डाक्तर जमा मेडिकल कॉलेज रू बाहर थे जो बर्तमान आज्ञा 4000 डाक्तर बाहर डाक्तर प्रति गली कंदी डाक्तर आज्ञा एवं समस्ते डाक्तर हो जाती कहीं गूगल आसीगला एवं समस्ते प्रोफेसर गूगल आपड़ जो रोगी को आउटडोर में देखला बेलू सी आज्ञा आसी मत आगे प्रश्न पचार 10टा से गूगल पढ़ी आसो से डाक्तर शुणापी तो धैर्य ना तेणु ये जो जिते बड़े आज जो अच्छी शीर्षक जो स्लोगान आशा और आकांक्षा युवपीढ़ीर आशा और आकांक्षा यंग पॉपुलेशन हेल्थ यूनिवर्सिटी आज्ञा मु कौन एक्चुअली आज्ञा भाषण तो देले खाली हेनी आम समस्तंकर किसी कर्तव्य भी अच्छे समाज रे पॉपुलेशन क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ बढ़ावा केमिति क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ बढ़िबो आपन तो भल स्वास्थ्य दरकार प्रथमत आज्ञा आम छुआ बेलू पढ़ाला स्वास्थ्य ही संपद कई आम के निज स्वास्थ्य कथा भावे कहीं भावती केवल भाषण देला बेले कहुए लिखला बेले आम लिखू हेल्थ इज वेल्थ कि नो बडी इज बदर्ड अबाउट देयर ओन हेल्थ केमती भल हम निजे आप जिते चेष्टा कले भी आपन को गोटे भल हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल भी दरकार आज्ञा प्रोफेसर गूगल कैनॉट मैनेज ऑल योर हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स यू नीड गुड सर्जन्स गुड फिजिशियंस गुड गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट और से सब तैयारी होती आज्ञा मेडिकल कॉलेज रू तो मेडिकल कॉलेजटा ए राज्यर आम समाजर गोटे मूलपिंड मु कहीं कहूँ यंग पॉपुलेशन जो आशा और आकांक्षा जिते बड़े आपण मैंने उत्कल यूनिवर्सिटी बाणी विहार गोटे पीजी कोर्स करने को आसी बहुत आशा आकांक्षा नहीं आसी किंतु एठी पशिला पर देखिथिबे एठी डेली गंडगोल होउची डेली माड़पीट डेली साइकल पशुची एठी ये पशिबनी से आज्ञा पाठ छड़ा आउ सब जिनस देखिबे तेतबे आपण माने कोन भाबिबे अरे मु कोन एस्पिरेशन नहीं आसीथिली आ मु एठी कोन देखुची आज्ञा सेम थी मेडिकल कॉलेज यंग पॉपुलेशन आज्ञा ब्रिलियंट माइंड्स आर बीइंग सिलेक्टेड फ्रॉम अक्रॉस 25-30 लाख पीपल few hundreds to come and join a medical college. Say young mind has got tremendous aspiration to become a brilliant doctor, to become a brilliant surgeon in future and serve the society. किंतु जिते से आसला ताकू पाठ पढ़ा हेनी से रोगी देखनी सी आज्ञा कौन शिखब कि नहीं मु कहीं कौचे आप कथा मु भी आज्ञा दिन यंग थी ना मु भी सेठी यंग फैकल्टी एससीबी आज्ञा 18 वर्ष थी तापर एम्स को जीवा पूर्वर 8 वर्ष सेठी कटेवा पूर्वर मु जो यंग फैकल्टी थी मोर गोटे एस्पिरेशन थी मु गोटे भल सर्जन हेबी मु मेडिकल कॉलेज रे अच्छी मु गोटे भल टीचर हेबी मेडिकल कॉलेज टीचर कहीं मेडिकल कॉलेज रे रहिले डुअल एजेड सोड आप बढ़िया पाठ पढ़े पारे भल रोगी सेवा करें ये दुईटा जगह कम करें किंतु आज्ञा अनफॉर्चुनेटली आपको केबे आज्ञा से अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेनी केबे मु एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हवा पर्यंत भी आज्ञा एग्जामिनरशिपटा मिललानी गाइड हवा तो आज्ञा स्वप्न कहीं सेटा है प्रोफेसर मानकर फोटे प्रोफेसर हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट सबू तांको पाखे रखिए आउ कहीं हेनी कहीं हेल्थ यूनिवर्सिटी है एंटायर कॉन्सेप्ट चेंज हो गला यंग फैकल्टी को फोकस दिया यंग द होप्स एंड एस्पिरेशन ऑफ यंग सेटा इज ऑल्सो इन माई माइंड द यंग पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट यंग फैकल्टी दे शुड बी गिवन एन अपॉर्चुनिटी एंटायर स्पेक्ट्रम चेंज हो गला मेडिकल कॉलेजेस अक्रॉस यंग फैकल्टीज मैंने गाइड्स हेले एग्जामिनर्स हेले and I could really sense and feel the thrill that they are having in their mind. मु कहीं कहूची ए सब जिनस सबू एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन होची आपणकर भी एठी होथिबो न होथे मते जणा नाही किंतु मते कोठी ना कोठी लागे एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस आर द रियल cornerstone of changing the society. Societal changes that if we are actually forcing, it has to start from your own home. ओन होम तो आज्ञा जी अपने 5 वर्ष 4 वर्ष पाठ पढ़िया को आसला सेटा तो तार होम ना सी तो होम छाड़ी दे आसला बापा माँ को छाड़ी के आसला यूनिवर्सिटी को एंड विथ लॉट ऑफ एस्पिरेशंस तो एबे से एस्पिरेशनटा पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन है आज्ञा सब प्रॉब्लम हो गला आम देशर मेन प्रॉब्लम होची आज्ञा पॉपुलेशन बढ़िला परे आम सब सर्टकट रास्ता खोजिले जहाँ एठी आज्ञा काम करिया को दरकार कहार मतलब ना किए आज्ञा निज निज बाटरे जीव से आज्ञा सर्टकट खोजिला कहीं सर्टकट खोजा होची ना बिकॉज पॉपुलेशन देखो आज्ञा नीट एमबीबीएस परीक्षा देवाई 30 लाख पिला बस गोटे परीक्षा आप जापर 30 लाख पिला गोटे एमबीबीएस परीक्षा देवा बस गोटे डाक्तर हाँपाई केमी एस्पिरेशंस टू बिकम ए डॉक्टर जदिओ से भल कि जानुची डेली समाजर शीर्षक मंडन होउची कोठी आज्ञा डाक्तर को बाड़ेले कोठी सीटी स्कान अचल हो गला युवा आज्ञा समाज न्यूज कोठी आज्ञा डाक्तर भल कम कले केबे पढ़ा हुए कई आज्ञा गणमाध्यम प्रतिनिधि बाहर करती एटी गणमाध्यम प्रतिनिधि मैंने मो भाई भौणी मैंने अच्छा ना मुझे जानी थिले भी मुझे भी कहे आज्ञा डाक्तर मैंने भल कम भी कर भी छापतु ना ସେଇଟା भी दरकार से इमेजटा भी सोसाइटी जाना दरकार जे आज्ञा डाक्तर जड़े हाँपाई केते कष्ट पड़े करिया पड़े दिन राति से केते पाठ पढ़े आ पाठ केते वर्ष पढ़े एमती आज्ञा पृथ्वी में पाठ नहीं जो पाठटा मिनिमम 10-12 वर्ष पढ़िया पड़े गोटे डिग्री पाई डाक्तर बोली कहवाई एमती पृथ्वी में आज्ञा पाठ नहीं मत कहले आज्ञा एमती पाठ अच्छी आपण मान यूनिवर्सिटी अच्छी ना किंतु हुए कौन से यंग माइंड जिते देखे जे तार किसी आगु को टनेल आर पटे लाइट ना ग्रेजुअली ता माइंडटा ब्लंटेड हो जाए आ से एस्पिरेशन एंड होप्स को टू कीप देम किंडल टू कीप देम अलाइव दैट इज द रोल ऑफ एवरी एकेडमिक लीडर्स इन द इंस्टीट्यूशन सो मोर विनम्र अनुरोध आमे पॉपुलेशन डे को जिते सेलिब्रेट करुचे आमर सुज्ञानी मंडल प्राध्यापक अध्यापक समस्त तो बहुत यंग माइंड्स मान सहित सब ओतप्रोत भाव में जड़ित से जेते प्रकार सुविधा दि जाए फॉर देयर प्रोफेशनल एंड एकेडमिक ग्रोथ से माने जदि आज्ञा एकेडमिक ग्रोथ रे आगु को उठिबे सोसाइटल चेंजेस विल कम वेरी फास्ट आ से जदि आज्ञा न होई परिला आमे माने आज्ञा क्वालिफाइड और एब्सोल्युटली नॉन प्रोडक्टिव पर्सन को छाड़िबा सोसाइटी आ से माने विल बी ए सोशल बर्डन आज्ञा खाली पृथ्वीर बर्डन बढ़ी जाए 8 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन रे से 8 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन भितर जदि आमे गोटे लोक हो गला जे सी गोटे सोशल बर्डन हो गला से बहुत पाठ साठ शिक्षित उच्च शिक्षित किंतु आज्ञा तार मानसिकता दुर्बल दैट बिकम्स ए बिगर बर्डन सो मोर आज प्रोफेसर चंडी प्रसाद नंद सार को अशेष कृतज्ञता जे से मत गोटे अपॉर्चुनिटी देले आपण मानक गहन आसवाई हे तो केबे भी मु आपण मान गहन को आसी पार नथांती मु सब मेडिकल कॉलेज सब मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूशन को जाई थांती किंतु उत्कल यूनिवर्सिटी भीतर देखिया पई केबे सुयोग मिल नथांता मु सौभाग्य मन करछि आपण मानक भीतर आसिया पई आ आजिर एई दिवस रे पॉपुलेशन डे सेलिब्रेशन रे भागीदार पई अनेक अनेक अशेष आपण मानक धन्यवाद नमस्कार
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with your thoughtful words and ideas. We now move on to the next speaker for the day. Our distinguished speaker, Professor Prabhash Ranjan Tripathi, sir, is a distinguished anatomist, medical educator, and healthcare administrator, currently serving as the medical superintendent and professor, Department of Anatomy, AIIMS, Bhubaneswar. May I now request you, sir, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much. Before already we have listened to the 4 vice chancellors of different universities. Professor Chandi Prasad Nanda sir from this university, all of you know sir. Also invited eminent Padma Shri Sir Aditya Prasad Das, former Vice Chancellor. You have also heard to his words of wisdom, and Professor Dr. Alok Sir from Ghasiram University sir has explained in our national language, our Rajbhasha Hindi. So what to be added to the population, that is, he is also in charge of so many youngsters or budding heroes from the university, like infusing sanskar. And before me, Sir Professor Dr. Manas Kumar Sahu, sir is Vice Chancellor of Orissa University of Health Science. Sir, as both of us are from same field and worked in the same institutes, and as I sir know from the SCB days, so sir is just not a mentor. He has many impression on me. So he explained in very in local language, Odia language, the dynamics and the need of the hour. So they are all very experienced and learned and life experience they have given to us. Actually, I should be part of audience, not in the dash among such distinguished guests. So, and with us also Dr. Padi, Madan Mohan Padi, who is a policy maker and administrator from Health Department. With us also Professor Danpat, sir is the chairperson for the PG Council for the university, and with us director from the PRC and other faculty members, guests, medias. So, being assigned to tell something, so it's really difficult and challenge also. So what to tell to this young generation? On this Population Day, World Population Day, so population, as I said, or sir also before sir has highlighted, it's the number. Always population means it has invited the number to challenge or tackle the number. That is our understanding, not only ours, for all the laymen or the general public, that is the understanding, it is only tackling the number. As academician or researchers or future generation, we know little bit advance that the theme has changed from just number to quality, just sir was emphasizing before. And based on that, this year theme also has been designed, that is the aspiration, hope and aspiration of the young population. And that is how the future is programmed. If we want to program our future, we have to plan from today. So young generation definition is, that is another thing, the criteria, age criteria, it's 15 or onwards up to 64. So what is the need of such a population? Because they are the working population. They are not only the living population, they are the working population. And because as a country, we have the highest number, so that is our strength, that is undoubtedly. But as you know, the strength, any tool to maintain its strength, we need to hone it. So also population, if it is our strength, we have to add value to that. Population handling or management is always a dynamic concept. If you see future, I think after some years, around 2050 or 60, like, will come to a standstill in terms of the population growth. Because now the population growth is around 1.9 for the country. And the required rate is 2.1 to keep the population growth intact. That means we are below the level to maintain the number in future. But for Odisha, it is another alarming, that is 1.2, which is very, very less. So if we don't maintain the number, we will be sort of working population. That means the burden on the working population will be more than the production. Whatever they produce, it will be consumed. It may be in the forms of care to the newborn or young or adolescents, or it may be utilized for the elderly care, maybe our parents or whatever. So that is the challenge. because the priority for the young has been changed. The youth is the priority like job seeker or bread earner or supporting family members or securing the old age or pension or health insurance. That is one priority. It has changed little bit. The priorities have changed like to innovators or the leaders. If you see the leaders not in only at the level of national level or state level, even at the small level, even to organize a program or leadership even at the level of a laboratory or small classroom or even doing a social work today activities or just before sir was telling whether to do an outreach program. The leadership is required at each stage. Innovator, leaders, activists. Sometimes we may not get the professionals. There are degree holders, but they are not have enough skills. Though he knows everything, but he is sometimes not able to perform a small task, whether it is assigned or whether there is a demand in the market. And just before sir was emphasizing the behavior. Both way, the behavior of the professionals like healthcare who are delivering and behavior of the public who are seeking. So there we need some activists. So the priority of the youth has changed from just a job seeker to all these things. These are all based on the needs. So it is a challenge. So for them, the policy makers needs education. So there is a change in education policy and education demand also. Like before sir was emphasizing, some 30 lakh students are appearing for the NEET exam. You know that seat is just 1 lakh. Then what the rest 28 lakhs, 29,000 lakhs will do? Where they will go? So the other course, allied course or auxiliary course are coming. Then coming the fitness. If we educate ourselves or empower ourselves or develop skills, if we don't remain fit, then probably we are not going to deliver. So health priority becomes both in terms of gender. So there need the gender equalization. So gender equalization and proper education and health, everything is achieved. Now next sir was telling whether should go for family, planning for the family. Family planning means just not doing a operation, sterilization operation, it has a wide range. Like whether should we go for family or not. That has also become a new concept. Previously that scope was not there. If somebody is not doing a family means he was becoming a sannyasi or being entirely dedicated his life for some activities. But the need for family has become emphasized. If need for family, at what age? And whether for doing a family they do have enough knowledge on the reproductive health, whether the female or the women are having that access to the reproductive health facility, whether enough knowledge and advice or expertise are there, counselor are there to provide for the proper planning for to do a family. Autonomy, yes, they do have autonomy, okay. But how autonomous that should be? At what age? And if a family is being planned, ensuring the future. Many things are deciding whether the financial security, health insurance. Okay, health insurance, is it the solution to the entire health problem? Partially. One side policy makers thinks that just distributing the health card will solve the purpose. No. Then who will deliver the health? There should be enough skilled manpower. Then where that will be solved? We need proper healthcare institution. And we need a proper standard protocols or quality to deliver the health cares. If education is there, whether we should go only for higher education or some education like skill development. Because the one dimension, we always understand that life means we need only a standard of life. Yes, standard of life is very basic. Just after independence, the standard of life was very, very important. What do you mean by standard of life? It is the access to material, access to the materials, commodities. That decides our standard of life. But we have come one step ahead. When standard of life is maintained, though we have a challenge, still some people are devoid of standard of life, but we have moved to the quality of the life, ensuring health access, maternal and child or infant mortality, all these determine the quality of the life. Standard of life, GDP, quality of life, all these things. But as a world leader for this country, the life doesn't ends there. We have two other goals. Because our cultural heritage add one thing, that is the meaning of life. What do you mean by the meaning of life? Probably this generation is going towards also. As Swami Vivekananda says, those who live for others are alive, others are as good as dead. So there adds the meaning of the life. Inclusive growth, sustainable development and inclusive growth. Yes, I am grown, I have enough, but are my other neighbors or society people have grown? That also youth has to sustain. Again, one more thing above that is the purpose of the life. Many people have everything, but still they leave the home like Bhagavan Buddha. He had everything. He is a Rajkumar. He had no issue with the standard of life or quality of life. He just left the home to solve the purpose of the life, which also ignite this young generation, particularly of this part of the land, because they are going to be the world leader. That is how our planning should be. So this youth in this demographic dividends has many options. They have autonomy, they have access, technological access, like whether it is a robotic, whether it is a artificial intelligence, or whether it is a online delivery or whatever there. It is there. But it drags me to what? Does it drags me to for obesity? As a healthcare professionals, yes, we claim that we have achieved our success over the infections. But is that really true? Still malaria is there. But the infection type has been changed. Antimicrobial resistance. Spending lakhs of rupees for the antimicrobials in the ICU. That is a new thing. Same infection, only the paradigm shift is there. Yes, handling infection, handling non-communicable disease, cancer is emerging. Mental health due to different reasons. It may be due to education, due to health policy, due to economy. So that is being handled or not, that also an issue. So because all of us today here and being academician, we have these challenges, but that is not stopping us. We have to discuss and we have to go to the society and we have to design new programs. And most important is the hand holding and intersectoral collaboration or participation. So these are the some of choices or suggestions, whatever you can say, for this young generation in shaping their future, defining their goals and marching towards their destiny. So thank you very much for the patient listening and
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights with us. May I now humbly request Dr. Murlidhar Padi, a senior public health professional and administrator serving as the additional director in the Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Odisha. Sir.
Thank you. I am privileged to be here. To be here in this auspicious occasion. Actually, physically, ame kali population stabilization fortnight ame padichu government re. We in the department, our MD chaired the session, and we honored around 62 institutions and people for this thing, our achievement in last year. Actually, everything is being told by Manas and other people of this auspicious gathering. They make my things easier. ସେମାନେ ମୋ ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ସବୁ ଅଲମୋଷ୍ଟ ବହୁତ କାମ କରିଛନ୍ତି, କଥା କହିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ମୋତେ ବେଶୀ କହିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବନି। ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ଆମର TFR 1.7 ମାନେ ଆମେ ବିଲୋ ରିପ୍ଲେସମେଣ୍ଟ ଲେଭେଲକୁ ଗଲେଣି। ସେଇଠି ଆମେ ଏବେ କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଅଫ୍ contraception को देखिबा, क्वालिटी ऑफ पीपल वी आर प्रोक्रिएटिंग देखिबा, ठीक टाइम रे जमती मैरिज करिवे एंड ठीक टाइम रे जमती पिला हबा, पिला को संस्कार केमती शिखेबे, सेईटा हला मुख्य जिनस। से कथा विषय मानस कहि दैचंती ऑलमोस्ट। एंड आमको देखिबा पड़िबो जे कंट्रासेप्शन हमर आउ गोटे जिनस आमर मॉडर्न कंट्रासेप्शन प्रिविलेंस केते रहउची। मॉडर्न कंट्रासेप्शन प्रिविलेंस गत NFHS सर्वे रे आमर 48.2% थिला बेले एथरक कमी छी। सो वी आर मोर एडॉप्टिंग ट्रेडिशनल मेथड ऑफ कंट्रासेप्शन। ट्रेडिशनल मेथड ऑफ कंट्रासेप्शन इज नाइदर गुड फॉर द कम्युनिटी, फॉर द स्टेट और फॉर पर्सनल थिंग्स। सो वी who are adopting the traditional methods, mostly educated people, you and I, and who knows about the contraception and not adopting these things because of some minor side effect. ये जिनस आमे जते बळे एडॉप्ट न करिबा हमर बहुत असुविधा हबो। एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ द कॉज ऑफ मोस्ट केसेस ऑफ अनवांटेड प्रेगनेंसी and abortion leading to maternal death. Every month at least 2 to 4 mothers are dying in my state for these things. So हमको adopt करिवाक पड़िबो। सेकेंड जिनस हला हमको सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट पई हमको maternal death, neonatal death कमेवाक पड़िबो। At one time around 1 year back our maternal death was highest in the country, that is 153 per 1 lakh live birth. लक्षे माँ पिला जन्म करथुले, तांका भितरु 150 माँ मरी जाउथुले से जन्म करिया प्रोसेस रे किंबा 42 दिन भीतर किंबा ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी ड्यू टू से ऑलमोस्ट आउट ऑफ दैट ऑलमोस्ट 80% आर प्रिवेंटेबल। एंड आमको यही टार्गेट अचीव करिया पड़िबो, 70 को कमेवा को पड़िबो। 70 कमेवा को हेले आमर फैमिली प्लानिंग कमोडिटी को एडॉप्ट करने पड़ो। एंड जो टाइम रे पिला जन्म करने कथा, जो पिला जन्म करने कथा जिते बड़े आम से टाइम रे जन्म करवा गैप रखा। थर्ड जिनस जो कथा कहते गोटे प्रति कपल 2टा पिला जन्म करवा दरकार, गोटे नुहे। गोटे हेले तार मानसिक उन्नति हबन, मानसिक मेंटली ही विल बी डिपेंडेंट ऑन द मदर और फादर एंड ही विल नॉट बी सेल्फ डिपेंडेंट। कहीं आपण को सोसाइटी यही लेवल को आनी आपण सोसाइटी को गला बेले से लेवल लोक देकी जीवाक पड़ो ना सोसाइटी डेवलप करबनी थर्ड जिनस आमर 1.7 हला परे आमर कौन होना एबे आमे पाखापाखि वर्किंग लोक अच्छा 65%, किंतु आफ्टर 31 परे आमर जी ओल्ड एज हे ऑलमोस्ट से वर्किंग लोक रे से आमर वर्कफोर्स कमिब आमे जदि एबे ठारू चिंता न करिबा दिस इज यूरोपियन कंट्री जमती कमुची वर्कफोर्स कमुची से अवस्था हेले अन्य राज्य रे जो माने बिहार यूपी रे लोक अछंती दे विल बी कंट्रोलिंग आवर वर्कफोर्स एंड आवर इकोनॉमिक्स will be controlled by them. It is almost now same things. So third thing is urban. We have to provide the service, all the modalities of service, health service, good communication to the rural peoples, and so that they will be aware and they will control the population. Third thing is that we have to control some disease like anemia, under 5 mortality, and maternal and child mortality. And if गोटे जिनस आम जदि ठीक भाव दीटा जड़े कपल दीटा पिला जन्म नहब गोटे टाइम आसब like Delhi re now TFR is 1.2, so hardly one couple is producing one child. So हमको ये जो एक्सटेंशन पर्यंत आड़ को आम जाऊे ह्यूमन रेस से आमको एबे ठारू ही एडप्ट करने पड़ो. एंड व्हाई द पीपल आर नॉट एडप्टिंग से मैंने भावुन जे गोटे पिला जन्म करके हाएस्ट एकाडेमिक्स रे मते पढ़ेवा को कोटी टंका खर्च हम से मु 2टा पिला जन्म करिबिनी. इट इज नॉट दैट एवरीबॉडी इज सिटिंग हियर दे आर नॉट taught in the best institute of the state, but they are the best people of the state now. So एया नुहे जे आमे 10म श्रेणी पर्यंत साई इंटरनेशनल न पढ़ेले आम गाँ स्कूल ले पढ़िले पिला भल हेनी. दैट इज नॉट द थिंग्स. सो आमको जो फैसिलिटी अच्छी भल पिला जे से जो पढ़ले भी भल हो पार एठी जो मैंने बसचंती भी समस्ते साईरू कि कैम्ब्रिज रु पढ़ी ना. सो आमको से कथा भाई पड़ो. सेकेंड थिंग इज दैट जेंडर बायस शुड नॉट बी देयर. आमर अवश्य यही NFHS सर्वे रे आमे 913 गतरे थिला एथरक सेक्स रेशियो एट बर्थ 923 फॉर दैट मानस कहले गोटे जिनस गोटे पुओ पिला जन्म हेले आमे सेकेंड पिला चाहूनी सिंगल पिला रोचे. जदि झील पिला जन्म है आमे खोजुचे सेकेंडटा झील हम कि पुओ हम. आमे सेकेंडटा झील जब जानले ताको आमे सेक्स सिलेक्टिव फिटिसाइड्स करछंती किंबा आमे ताको जन्म जदि बहुत कष्ट हो गला आमे ताकू आउ नियोनेटाल रे केयर दौना. आइदर सी इज डाइंग फिजिकली और नॉट डेवलपिंग ए गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग. से आम जिते पर्यंत ये जो सेक्स सिलेक्टिव प्रिफरेंस जिते पर्यंत बदलैवा नहीं सेते पर्यंत आमर सोसाइटी रे इम्प्रूवमेंट हेनी. देन गवर्नमेंट कौन गवर्नमेंट कौन करवा दरकार. एबे जो लोक माने जो कहले 1% गवर्नमेंट जॉब अच्छी किंतु 65% लोक काम करने अच्छी. एंड आमे केते काम आमे निजे करि परिबा आम निज काम सेटा देखिबा जेतिकी आउ एक्सपर्टाइज डेवलप कले किछि करि परिबा देखिबा. एंड एजिंग पॉपुलेशन पाई आमे प्रिपेयर्ड हवा. देन एजिंग से जिते आसवे आइदर डिस्कसन करचंती पेंशन नहले तांको एज रिलेटेड सिचुएशन आमे क्रिएट करिवा मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट यंग जनरेशन कौन जानिबा दरकार फास्ट है फॉर देम दिस स्टेबिलाईजेशन फोर्टनाइट रे contraception at one time those who are unmarried we are not thinking of their contraception, but now contraception available to them at any corner of our state, even safe kit achi jouthre condom oral contraception emergency contraception pregnancy kit are available, and now the but they should not be used liberally. So actually it Odisha रे आमे young people can expect करचे जे even with struggle they should be good people. They should learn the things from their elder generation, so that this elder generation will not go to their grave with the skill. Like suppose gote jinsa even our state laparoscopy surgeon are less number, hardly 10 people are doing more than 1000 cases per year. So it's difficult, it's a long learning process. Even with training for 12 days they will not be learning. But if the older surgeon will be interested and the person who learns will be interested, they can learn this thing within 6 months, and people are doing this thing. So मुकाली कहली laparoscopy surgeon मानकु, those who are operating 10,000, you create at least one surgeon per month who is performing. So they will transfer your skill to the community, so community will get the benefit. So आमको मुख्यतः आम क्वालिटी देखा पड़ो, क्वांटिटी नुहे, भल क्वालिटी लाइफ आमे मेंटेन करवा, आमे पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ नहले भी डिमिनिश न हो, आम सोसाइटी सस्टेन हो, एतिकी मु एक्सपेक्ट कर. थैंक्स टू द यूनिवर्सिटी पीपल फॉर allowing me to talk this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite the Chairperson, Postgraduate Council, Utkal University, Professor Jaganeshwar Dhanpad, sir, to address the gathering. Sir, please.
समस्त नमस्कार, जय जगन्नाथ. So esteemed Vice Chancellor and Chief Patron of this program, Professor Chandi Prasad Nanda, Padma Shri Professor Aditya Prasad Das, who just recently left the meeting because of the assignment, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Guru Ghasidas University, the chief guest of this function, Professor Chakrawal, distinguished guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Odisha University of Health Science, Professor Manas Ranjan Sahu, distinguished speakers, Dr. Muralidhar Padi, Additional Director, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Odisha, Dr. Prabhas Ranjan Tripathi, the Medical Superintendent, also distinguished speakers, AIIMS Bhubaneswar, Dr. Himanshu Raut, Director, Population Research Center, Utkal University. I am privileged to be here, and thanks the organizers for giving an opportunity to talk a few things about the World Population Day onto this event on 11th July 2026. Being the last speakers, I have some privilege that most of the people have shared their thought and vision, the relevance of the Population Day, and they have discussed the deliberations on the theme. Few things I wish to share. among the August gathering. Few years back, the theme of this World Population Day, if I remember, leave no one behind, count everyone. That speaks about inclusiveness, equal opportunity. Every people are important, every voice is important. Unleashing the power of gender equality, uplifting the voice of girls. Some other focus area of World Population Day. And the last year was empowering young people to create the families they want in a fair and hopeful world. That was the theme of last year. And this year, with careful considerations, I think even have decided that realizing the hopes and aspirations of young people today and for the future. So if we analyze all this theme of recent on World Population Day, they are interconnected and there are justifications and they are appropriate to the current context of the world populations. So world populations, the major challenge, one is the rising global populations and the critical challenges from environment, sustainability, and population management. I will add one thing over here, that beyond population management, one is important thing is the population dynamics. So to everyone, to literally if we understand that population is about the numbers, is the data, about the birth, about the death, but merely population is not that. It is more about the people, more about the function, more about the interconnectivity among the different groups of people. So to these populations, the young population, what is their aspiration? What is their hope? One important thing we must remember, the future of this planet, the future of this universe depends on how we invest in our youth, how we nurture our young generations, how we empower our young generations, how we invest in our youth, and how we train them to learn the responsibilities, the ethical values, morals, and of course the gratitudes. The young individuals, the young generations, they have freedom to dream. They are the drivers of this society for the sustainable development and of course the social transformations. We must create a knowledge-based ecosystem, a knowledge-based economy where every young individuals, they are empowered to realize their full potential and their collective efforts unleash the opportunity and their aspirations. To support these things, to give a better dialogue or discourse on this present theme, that we must remind the young generations that it is about the potentiality in every individuals. It is about the hope and possibilities that reside in every young mind. We are moving ahead with the technology. Technology does not create values. It is the people who create the values. We are marching ahead with artificial intelligence, world-class infrastructure laboratory, which can produce innovation, but only the enlightened society can ensure that innovation serves humanity. We are creating schools, world-class infrastructure, but we need to give better education system. We are building world-class hospitals, but we need to develop the robust healthcare systems and public health system. With our modern infrastructure, we are supporting the young mind to come out with their potentiality and as they aspire, as they hope. We have artificial intelligence that can revolutionize the healthcare, but it is team and without compassion and fairness, it even deepens the existing inequalities. It is the young people, beyond their professional success, they should think about the society. And this World Population Day reminds us the sustainable development and this inseparable from the human development is lies on the young generations of the people. The most important challenges among all of us, in front of us, and particularly these today's young generations which are going to face is the drastic environmental changes, climatic changes, and our aging populations. 1936-97, we are thinking about Viksit Odisha and Viksit Bharat 2047. But the biggest challenges is our rapidly aging populations. When we think of the aging, it is not only the calendar age. It is not about the chronological or calendar age. We must think about the biological age, which is all about our performance, which is all about our fitness, physical and mental fitness, and which is all about our mental cognitions and behavior and attitudes. We have seen there is a rapid transitions of biological agings in the populations across the country, across the globe. We have observed that recently the people in the age group of 35-40, they are having different type of non-communicable diseases, taking interventions, medical interventions for number of diseases, including diabetes, hypertension, mental disorders, and so on. That speaks about that we are rapidly aging, mostly in biological aging rather than the chronological age. We are giving importance to generate more amount to produce more amount of food. Along with the more amount of food, we must give the better nutrition to our growing populations. And we are facing the pandemics, and we have seen recently a silent mutation in one corner of the universe create a huge noise and impact on the public health system across the country. That says that our future is shared, our responsibility is shared, our outcome is shared. We are creating the medical professions, hospitals, but we have to inculcate the moral value and ethics. We are creating the engineers from our young populations, but all those engineers should have ethics to aesthetics to environmental challenges. So it's my submission to all of you, particularly the young generations, that we must realize what potentiality we have, what culture we have learned, what tradition we have, how we can amalgamate tradition with technology, how we can think of our culture, preserve the culture, heritage, but must come forward with the technological transformations. And we have to have a perfect balance in our profession, in our career, in our attitude, and of course, most driving thing, that is the passion. One thing just I want to remind over here, in this building, what is the Bark Outreach Center, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, building this auditorium. You know that Homi Jahangir Bhabha, who is the father of nuclear physics, Indian nuclear physics. So when the Bhabha was sent to Cambridge to perform education in engineering in 1927, he wrote a strong letter to his father, and I quote that, "My dear father, I am seriously thinking that engineering is not my life. I am burning here to do physics, and I will do physics, and I don't understand what A and B think of me, what I think that is about me. So I just implore you with my politeness that please allow me to do the physics, and I will do physics and will do something with physics." That is the passion, that is the drive, and that is why this Bhabha Atomic Research Center came in India. So every young individual must have a strong passion, must have a professional vision, and they maintain a perfect balance of passion, profession, and career. And with ethics, moral values, and gratitude to the society, to the fellow individuals. With this, I must thank the organizers and all the STEM speakers, and all welcome in this world and this Population Day, and we all work together for a better future, fight together for a better sustainability, for a better environment. So if you need to work further, we should work together. Thank you. Vande Utkal.
Thank you so much, sir, for motivating us with your thoughtful words. As we now approach the conclusion of this event, I invite Dr. Himanshu Shekhar Raut, faculty in the Department of Analytical and Applied Economics and also the Deputy Director, Population Research Center, Utkal University, to propose the vote of thanks. Sir.
Good afternoon to all. Respected President of the function, dignitaries, guests on and off the dais, esteemed faculty members, researchers, students, media representatives, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I offer our deepest gratitude to Professor Chandi Prasad Nanda, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Utkal University and Chief Patron of this function. Sir, your visionary leadership and unwavering support for the organic relationship between PRC, Department of Public Health, and Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India and Government of Odisha. We are sincerely grateful for your encouragement, presence, and inspiring guidance. We are profoundly honored by the gracious presence of Padma Shri Professor Aditya Prasad Das, former Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Tamil Nadu and former Director of Institute of Life Science, Bhubaneswar. Sir, for your insightful observation on the balance between human being and animals and natural resources have enriched this gathering and provided valuable guidance for all of us. I extend our heartfelt appreciation to Professor Alok Kumar Chakrawal, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. Sir, your thought-provoking address on regarding our culture, on the role of the youth, higher education and human development had added new dimensions to this today's deliberation. We are grateful for your inspiring presence and valuable contribution. Our sincere thanks to our due to Professor Manas Ranjan Sahu, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Odisha University of Health Sciences, sir. Your reflection on the health system, demographic change, and importance of investing in young people have greatly enriched our understanding on the contemporary population challenges. I express my deep gratitude to Dr. Muralidhar Padhi, Additional Director, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Odisha. Sir, your valuable insights for the perspective of public health administration and program implementation have highlighted the importance of evidence-based policy and collaborative action in addressing population and health out concerns. I would also like to thank Professor Prabhas Ranjan Tripathi of AIIMS Bhubaneswar. Sir, your expert perspectives on population health, healthcare system, emerging public health challenges have provided an important scientific foundation for today's discussion. And let me tell, Sir is our regular guest. Every year he is our Population Day guest generally. So he always, with a call, he always extend his hand to university. Thank you, sir. I also sincerely appreciate the presence of Professor Jagneshwar Dandpat, Chairperson of PG Council, Utkal University, for his gracious presence and continued encouragement of the academic and research initiative in the university. I also take this opportunity to express our gratitude to Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, whose continued support to the population research centers across the country enables evidence-based research, policy dialogues, and capacity building in the field of population study and public health. We equally thankful to our university administration and all university officials for their valuable cooperation, administrative support, guidance in making the program a success. No event of this magnitude can be successful without the dedicated effort of a committed team. It is the team Utkal. I therefore place a record of our heartfelt appreciation to all faculty members, researchers, administrative personnel and support staff of Population Research Center and the whole Utkal team for their tireless efforts, meticulous planning, unwavering dedication behind the scene have ensured the smooth conduct of this program. I offer special word thanks to our audience, to our student friends, young friends, research scholars, PhD scholars. Your enthusiastic participation is a reminder that today's theme is not merely about young people, it is about empowering to become leaders, innovators, and agents of change. Your appreciation, your aspirations represent the future of the nation. I also extend sincere thanks to our friends from the electronic, print, and digital media. Through your coverage and outreach, the message and our contribution and contribute to the public awareness and informed discourse. Finally, I thank every participant, delegates, guests, and well-wishers who joined us today. Your presence has made this celebration meaningful, vibrant, and memorable. As we conclude, let us reaffirm our collective commitment to creating opportunities for young people, promoting health and well-being, ensuring gender equality, and building a future where every individual can realize his or her full potential. With proud gratitude to all, I once again thank our distinguished dignitaries, guests, organizers, participants, supporters for making this celebration a grand success. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Before we declare the event closed, we request all the dignitaries on the dais to spare a moment for a brief photo session. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you all. Students,